Hi everyone. So I usually go live about 1 minute before the class starts, and it's 1 minute to 4. So shout out to whoever is going to be joining, and if you can please let me know if my mic is working because I'm trialing a mic. And welcome everybody. Uh, so I can see we've got one joined. Oh wait, what's going on? We're still live. I'm just having some Facebook gremlins. Okay. If you navigate, okay, so I'm going to stay on this page. Okay, thank you. I've got a yes that the mic is working and it's 4 o'clock on the head. So I just want to seem to be getting a bit of I'm not sure why, but okay, I'm just going to go back, leave this page. Okay. Right. Okay, this is perfect. So, welcome, guys. You might notice that the lighting, it doesn't seem like it's daytime here, but it is. I'm just playing around with the lighting and working on some advice from a professional sort of lighting, somebody who's in photography. And that's why I've played around a bit with the lighting. So, welcome if you're joining. And today's yoga is just going to be designed to energize the mind and bring a bit of vitality to the body so that you can make the most of what's left of your Sunday and carry that energy into the week. I hope you're all doing well. And remember, with the yoga, if anything, make the yoga accessible to you. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good in the body. Respect where your body is at and just do what you can. Um, and I hope you enjoy the class. But how we're going to start is with a little bit of a mindfulness exercise. And what you're going to do is you're going to be coming onto your mat or wherever you might be, and you're going to be coming either into a comfortable kneeling position, or if you feel more comfortable in a cross-legged position, you're going to be there. And what I'd like you to do is find a lot of openness through the chest by pulling your shoulder blades back and down. Make sure that the front side of the core is nice and active. Open up through the spine, get a nice long spine. And once you have that, just making any sort of subtle adjustments in the body. And then once you have that, just starting to close the eyes. And once the eyes are closed, just once again checking in with your posture, checking in with your alignment. And once you have that, start to deliberately slow down your breath. And notice if you can channel your breath deep into the belly. On your in breaths, try and expand the belly almost like you're expanding a balloon. So feeling for that Buddha belly as you take a very deep breath in. And on the exhale, either breathing out through the mouth or through the nose, whichever feels more natural for you. For now, all we're doing is we're directing that awareness and that attention to the breath and just observing the breath. And quite naturally, the mind will begin to wander. It will begin to go off into thoughts. That's the nature of the mind. When you become aware that the mind has moved, gently bring it back to your breathing. Notice if you can deliberately slow down the breath. Direct your awareness to your heartbeat, starting to check in And begin to notice if the heartbeat might slow down the more you deepen the breath and the more you control the breath. And then from here, just starting to scan the body, starting from the legs or the feet. Just get a sense of any areas in the body that might be feeling tired or fatigued, that might be feeling restricted or sore in any way. By the time you reach your face, make sure you aren't holding any tension in your jaw and make sure you're not gritting your teeth. And then from there, taking a very deep breath in, once again, filling up the lungs, filling up the belly, and gently sigh roll out through your mouth. Take another deep breath in. Notice if you can stay with that breath for slightly longer. Slightly more powerfully, sigh roll out. And you're doing this in one last time in your own time, a very deep breath in. Stay with that breath for as long as you feel comfortable to do so. And when your body tells you, very powerfully sighing it all out through the mouth. Gently blinking the eyes open. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to be untucking and you're going to be coming into your box shape on the hands and on the knees as we start to warm up the spine. And begin to make sure that your wrists are stacking underneath your shoulders. The hands are going to be shoulder width apart. And index fingers are going to be parallel to one another. Start to grip into the floor. Feel your forearms turn on. Your knees should be stacking underneath your hips. The legs are hip width apart. And if you look in between your legs, you should not see your feet. This is our box position. And then from there, we're going to start to move through our cat and on our cow. And on the next inhale, bring your shoulder blades towards each other. Pull them down. Look forward. Arch the spine. Keep the core nice and active. Feel the stretch through the front body. That's my cow stretch. And then on the exhale, start to broaden through the back. Push the floor away from you as you come into your cat stretch. And now linking breath to movement, moving through this in your own time. On the inhale, come into that cow stretch. On the exhale, push back into that cat stretch. Just moving through this in your own time, bringing awareness to your spine, starting to warm up the spine, warming up the hips, and warming up the shoulders. Try and keep the core active as you do this. And as you push into your cat spine, try and really activate the front body. Pull the navel towards the spine. Push into the floor. And when you're done with a few more of these, now start to freestyle through the movement, moving in any way that feels good. It might be pivoting over the hands. It might be moving the neck. It might be moving the hips, but moving in any way that feels good in the body. And then from there, bring your big toes to touch. Spread the knees out wide. You're going to start to push your buttocks down onto your heels, or get them as close as you can. And then from there, lower down into a child's pose, just relaxing and releasing, coming into a stretch. Deepen the breath while you're here. And then from here, taking a very deep breath in and very powerfully sighing it all out through the mouth. So to pull yourself back up into your box shape. Making sure that the hands are stacking underneath shoulders, knees are stacking underneath hips. And then you're going to start to take your right leg towards the back. See if you can hover it just above the floor, pointing the toe. And then you're going to start to look forward, coming into a cow spine. Inhale, lift that leg as high as you can. On the exhale, lower that leg back down, hover it just above the mat. Inhale, engage and lift. Exhale, lower down and hover. Inhale, lift. And then from there, find a cat spine, broaden through the back. And on the next exhale, draw the knee in towards the forehead. And hold it there. Press the floor away from you as much as you can. Start to inhale, extend the leg out. Look forward. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the forehead, find cat spine. Inhale, extend. And then from here, extend the left arm forward, finding your balance. Keep the core nice and active. And on the next exhale, bring the left elbow to touch the right knee. Push the floor away from you with your right hand. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw the knee towards the elbow, hold it there. Inhale, extend. Lower left hand, lower right leg. Back into box, readjust and realign. And then from there, starting to extend the left leg towards the back, hover it just above the mat, finding that cow spine. Inhale, lift that leg as high as you can, keep the core active. Exhale, lower that leg down, hover just above the mat. Inhale, engage and lift. Exhale, lower down and hover. Inhale, engage and lift. Now find a cat spine, broaden through the back. Draw the knee in towards the forehead, hold it there. Inhale, extend and lengthen that leg, look forward. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the forehead, broaden through the back. Inhale, extend the leg. Now extending the right arm forward and lengthen. Now on the exhale, draw the knee towards the elbow, hold it there. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhale, draw knee towards elbow, hold it there. Inhale, extend and lengthen. And lower back down into your box. And if you need to take a child's pose, do so. So once again, push your heels or you push your buttocks towards your heels. And then lower down into your child's pose. Take a nice deserved relaxation after that sequence. Once again, use this time to check in with your breath. Take a deep breath in. Powerfully sigh it all out. You're going to start to pull yourself back up into your box. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to be coming up onto our knees. And we're going to be going for something known as a gate pose. Now, if your knees are feeling a bit tender or sensitive, you can always double your mat up to give yourself a bit more support on your knees, or you can even use a pillow or a cushion for your knees. But from here, what you're going to do is you're going to start to extend your right leg out towards the side. The toes are going to point out to the side, and then see if you can lower your foot flat down. Now, if your knee needs to bend, that's cool. Hip, you'll notice that my pelvic bones are facing towards the camera, equidistant to the front. So the reason it's called gate pose is there's a gap here like a gate. But from here, what you're going to do is you're going to start to inhale and take the arms up and overhead and reach for the sky. Try and open up through the chest, but keep your core active. Now you're going to start to turn your right hand down, place that hand down on the right shin, and notice that the left hand starts to reach directly up, lengthening through the left side of the body, and try and direct your breath through the left side of the rib cage. At the same time, use your right hand to press gently into the shin to give you more purchase to stretch through the left side. One last deep breath here. And then on the next inhale, start to bring the palms to touch, reaching for the sky. And on the exhale, you're going to start to gently draw the palms into the heart center. From here, you're going to start to draw your toes towards your shin, flexing the ankle and straightening the leg. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to try and move from your right hip and see if you can turn the entire leg backwards. So my toes are moving back towards the wall. See how far you can go. And then we're going to rotate internally, bring the toes down towards the front of the mat. And we're going to try that again. So rotate from the hip, take the toes backwards. Rotate from the hip, bring the toes forward. Last time, rotate from the hip, take the toes backwards, and rotate from the hip, bring the toes forward. And now see if you can place your foot flat down with the toes pointing towards the front. Chest is nice and open. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to start to take your left hand and pretend like you're pushing something away from you. So extend that hand out towards the side. Now start to bring that hand to stack underneath your left shoulder and grip into the floor. Feel the forearm turn on, feel the bicep turn on. Now right hand goes to left, take a deep breath in, and then brace your core. On the exhale, start to pull a string of a bow, twist. Pull that hand as high as you can, and then open that hand up towards the sky. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Now turn your palm towards the left side, and then take that arm over your left ear as you stretch and lengthen. Try and lift the right side of the ribcage up towards the sky. Breathe through the right side of the body. Stay very strong through the left hand. One more deep breath in. And on the next exhale, you're going to start to lift back up. Bring the palms to touch. And on the exhale, draw the palms into the heart center. From here, as slow as you can, you're going to slide that leg in. And then you're going to extend the opposite leg, the left leg, out towards the side, placing the foot flat down. Bending the knee if you need to. And we're going to do the same variation on this side. So on the inhale, taking the arms up and overhead. Keep your core nice and active. Open up through the chest, but keep the core engaged. Now turning the left palm down towards the left shin, lower it down, and right arm reaches for the sky, lengthen through the spine, opening up through the right side of the body. And try and breathe through that right side of the body. Feel for the stretch as you reach for the sky. Starting to inhale, come back. Bring the palms to touch, lengthen through the spine, reach for the sky, and then on the exhale, draw the palms into the heart center. Now straightening the left leg, flex the ankle such that the toes are coming towards the shin. And as we did, moving from the hip, notice if you can take your toes back far as you can. Rotate from the hip, bring the toes down towards the front. Rotate backwards. Rotate forwards, rotate backwards, rotate forwards, Last time, rotate backwards, rotate forwards, lower the foot flat down, try and bring your toes pointing towards the front. And then from here, as we did, now right hand starts to push out towards the side, and then start to lower that right hand to stack underneath the right shoulder, grip into the floor, nice and strong, push into the floor. Now left hand goes to right, and as if you're pulling a string of a bow, brace the core, twist and open. Pull, open up through the chest as much as you can. Straighten the arm, spread the fingers wide. Now turn the palm towards the right side. Bring that right arm over your right ear as you stretch and lengthen. Try and lift the left side of the ribcage up towards the sky. At the same time, really press into the floor with that right hand. And then from there, starting to take that hand back up. Inhale, start to come back. Bring the palms to touch. And on the exhale, draw the palms into the heart center. And then from there, starting to slide that leg back in. All right, so that was the gate pose. And now we're going to go for the sun salutation. But we're going to start by first coming back into your box. And then finding that cat spine, broaden through the back. Start to extend your right leg towards the back. You're on the ball of that right foot. Make sure that you still got that cat spine and the shoulders are stacking over the wrists. Extend the left leg coming onto the ball of that foot. And now you're in a high plank, finding that very strong cat spine. Nice and broad through the back, nice and active through the core. And then from there, when you're ready, you're going to start to push back into your downward facing dog and lower the heels down. And then from there, start to move around in that down dog, moving in any way that feels good. So maybe bending one knee, straightening the other, maybe pivoting from the hips, maybe shaking the head, doing anything that feels good in the body. And just allow your bodily intuition to move you in patterns that feel good in the body. Use this time to notice any areas that might be feeling tight or restricted in any way. Once you're done playing, push back into that downward facing dog. Start to walk your feet forward. And when your feet meet your hands, fold forward, maybe keeping a bend in the knees if the lower back or hamstrings feel tight or restricted. From there, grab onto the opposite elbows, and if it feels good to do so, sway from side to side. Come back to center, lower the hands down towards the floor, pull your chin in towards your chest. Pull your navel in towards your spine and then begin to uncurl, stack and rise nice and slow. One vertebra at a time. Once your spine finds neutral, look forward and inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Starting to bring the palms to touch, pull your glutes in, pull your core in towards the center of your body. Get the feeling like somebody is pulling your hands up and pulling your legs down. And then on the exhale, draw your palms into your heart center, opening up through the chest, and then rise up onto the balls of your feet. See if you can maintain your balance. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels back and down. Bring the palms back to your side. And then from there, going for our Surya Namaskar. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead, lengthen through the spine, starting to hinge from the hips, swan dive the arms, fold forward. Pull your chin in towards your chest. Inhale, flatten or straighten your back, place your hands on your shins. Start to bring the big toes to touch, bend the knees a lot. Lower the palms to stack underneath the shoulders, finding cat spine. Transfer some weight into those hands. Float right leg back, lower it down. Float left leg back, lower it down. You're in high plank. And then from here, you can lower down into your chaturanga or lower the knees down and then exhale, lower down into your chaturanga. And then from there, coming up into your cobra, or if you want, upward facing dog. And then from there, starting to transition, push back into downward facing dog, lowering down. Start to bend your right bend your right knee, lower the left heel towards the floor. Inhale, take right leg up and overhead, three-legged dog. Keep hips and pelvis square. Bend the right heel towards the right buttock cheek. Inhale, rise up onto the ball of the opposite foot. Find cat spine. Exhale, float right leg forward and step. Float left leg to meet right, fold forward. Direct your awareness to the base of your spine and begin to uncurl, stack, and rise. Spine finds neutral. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, swan dive, the arms fold forward. Pull your chin in towards your chest. Inhale, place your hands on your shins, flat back, halfway lift. Start to bring the big toes to touch. Bend the knees a lot. Bring the shoulders to stack over the wrists. Transfer some weight into the hands. Float, left foot back, lower it down. Float, right foot back, lower it down. You're in your high plank. And then from there, your options are lower down into chaturanga or lower the knees down and then lower down chaturanga. And then inhale, rise up. Cobra or upward facing dog, your choice, your practice. From there, transitioning back into downward facing dog. Start to bend your left knee, lower the right heel down towards the floor. And then inhale, take left leg up and overhead, three-legged dog. Keep hips and pelvis square. Bend left heel towards left buttock cheek. Inhale, rise up onto the ball of the opposite foot. Find cat spine. Exhale, float left leg forward and step. Float right leg to meet left, fold forward. Direct the awareness to the base of the spine and begin to uncurl, stack, and rise. Spine begins to find neutral. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Reach for the sky, look forward, pull your glutes in, pull your core in, rise up onto the balls of your feet, find your balance. If you fall, have fun with it. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels down, bring the palms to your heart center and then to your side. Okay, I hope everybody is still with me. You can give me a thumbs up if you're okay with the class so far. But from here, what we're going to do is we're going to be playing a little bit with a little bit of hip mobility. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to be taking your legs around about 3.5 or 4 feet apart, right? And then you're going to start to bring your big toes inwards such that your big toe is slightly, or your toes are slightly more inwards than your heels. And you should start to feel a little bit of a stretch through the outside of the ankles. But from here, you're going to start to inhale and take the arms up and overhead. Reaching for the sky, open up through the chest, but keep the core nice and active. And then from there, hinge from the hips as you would do. Keep the lower back straight and lower the hands down. Transfer some weight into the hands. Start to transfer some weight into the balls of your feet. And almost get the feeling like your hands are in a plank. So find that cat spine as you push the floor away from you. You'll notice you can bring your wrists into a bit of flexion by moving your shoulders slightly over the wrists to stack over the fingers. The hands should be shoulder width apart. And then from there, when you're ready, engage the core and the back body. Start to uncurl, stack, and rise. Spine finds neutral. Start to inhale, take the arms up and overhead, lengthen through the spine. And then on the exhale, start to draw the palms into the heart center. Now, moving from the right leg, you're going to take your right heel, pivot on the ball of your right foot. Bring your right heel inwards, bring your right toe outwards. Now your right foot is going to cut your left foot in half. We're coming to our triangle legs. You'll notice that my pelvis is still square, but my right leg has externally rotated. And then from here, opening up through the chest, straighten the arms, start to pull the shoulder blades towards each other. Extend the arms, look at the middle finger of the right hand. Those should be at shoulder height. And then from there, keeping your lower body as an anchor, and then starting to move from the upper body as if you're trying to touch something to the right side of you. Move as far as you can. And then when your body stops, you lower that hand down on the shin. Take the left hand up and overhead. Keep the core nice and active as I come into triangle pose. Feel for the stretch through the left side of the body. Try and really press into the legs to get a sense of strength. And then from there, on the next inhale, come back up, looking at the middle finger, the right middle finger, and now bend that front right knee, bring it to stack over the front right ankle, and try and get the left foot to be flat down on the outer edge. From here, take the right palm up towards the heavens, take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, start to reach for the sky, straight up, and try and keep that right knee stacking over that right ankle. Feel for the stretch through the right side of the body. Start to inhale, come back into your warrior two, and now you're going to start to lower your right elbow down towards your right quadricep, and then you're going to take the left hand, extend it out towards the side. Feel your scapula come off the back, and then you're going to rotate that hand over your left ear, spiraling the ribcage up, keeping the core nice and active. And then from there, on the next inhale, start to come back, warrior two, and we're going to come for a bit of a balance. So we're going to go into our half moon, shorten your stance, your right foot is still pointing out to the side, right? And remember, there's expressions of half moon. So you're going to start in the easiest expression, just opening up through the hands and seeing if you can lift the back leg off the ground. And if you feel more comfortable, then you're going to start to lift that leg up and lower the right hand down, opening up into that half moon. Find your balance. And if you fall, have fun with it. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Gently start to bend your right knee, lower the left leg down, come back into your warrior two, straighten the right knee, pivot that foot back in, and you're in the wide-legged legs. Both toes are still inward, and now we're going to go for the opposite side. Pivot on the ball of the left foot, bring your left heel in, turn your left toes out. Now, left foot is cutting right foot in half. And then you're going to start to open up through the chest, pull the scapula towards each other. Hands are shoulder height. Now look at the left middle finger. Using your legs as an anchor. And then start to inhale, reach towards the left side with the upper body. And when your body goes no further, lower the left hand down. Take the right hand up. You can place that left hand on your left shin. Keep the core nice and active. Feel for the stretch that happens to the right side of the body. And then on the next inhale, coming back to neutral with the hands in the torso. And then on the next exhale, bend the left knee, bring the left ankle to stack underneath the left knee, opening up through the chest. Now turn the left palm up, take a deep breath in. And on the exhale now, reach that left hand for the sky, lengthen through the spine. Open up through that left side. Starting to inhale, come back, warrior two. And then taking that left elbow, lower it down onto that left knee. Take your right arm out towards the side. Feel your scapula come off the back. And then rotate that hand over your right ear as you stretch. Begin to inhale, come back up. Warrior two. Now shorten your stance. We're going to go for that half moon balance on this side. Remember, go as far as you feel comfortable to go. So you're going to start very shallow, open up. Lift the leg off the ground, maybe play with the balance. And then when you feel comfortable, maybe go slightly more, slightly more. Stay here. 3, 2, 1. And then gently start to bend that left knee. Float back. Nice and slow. Warrior two. Straightening that front knee. And then pivoting that leg. You're back into that wide-legged stance. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into a bit of a sumo wrestler pose. So turn the heels inward as much as you can. Turn the feet outwards. Sit down, just stretching the adductor muscles through the inside. And then with the hands, bringing the palms to the center. And then open up through the chest, pulling the shoulder blades down as you do so. Keep the core nice and active. Breathe deeply. And then from there, when you're done, you're just going to come slightly, or bring the legs slightly inwards, and then you're going to see if you can squat down nice and slow. And if you need to come up onto the balls of your feet, do so. You're just going to take a bit of a rest pose here. Okay, so from here, just doing the last of the very strong activation. So what you're going to do is you're going to be coming side on onto your mat. Your legs are going to be hip width apart, and your feet are going to be flat down. And then you're going to be starting to take your hands. Notice that I start to walk my hands backwards. My hands are going to be shoulder width apart, and the fingers are going to be pointing outwards. So we're going to be coming into upward box, right? This is the opposite of box because we're moving the opposite way. You're going to pull your ribcage in, core activates very strongly. Open up through your chest by pulling your shoulder blades towards each other. Now, if you feel comfortable just staying here and just looking up, you're going to do that. But if you want to, you're going to squeeze the glutes and then press through the heels and drive through the glutes, lifting up as high as you can. Opening up through the chest, keeping the core nice and active. If it feels good, maybe taking the head all the way backwards. Or looking straight up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, lower back down. And we're going to do that for a few more as we did. So step 1, activate the core. Step 2, activate the legs. Open up through the chest. Pull the scapula towards each other. That's step 3. And then inhale, lift as high as you can. Looking up. Open up through the shoulders. And stretch. On the exhale, lower back down. And we're going to do it one last time. So step 1, activate the core. Step 2, start to press through the legs. Step 3, open up through the chest by bringing the scapula towards each other. Push the floor away from you. Open, lift the pelvis up. Keep the core nice and active. Just holding it there. 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. And then from there, straightening the legs, flex the feet. Nice and strong through the upper body. And then from here, you're going to start to gently hug your right foot in towards, or your right leg in towards the center line. Pull that leg in, bring the right foot flat down. Keep the left foot straight and flexed. Find a long spine. And then from here, you're going to take your left hand, wrap it around that right leg or that right knee. Now inhale, get a sense like you're lengthening through the spine. Now brace the core, and on the exhale, you're going to twist and rotate left shoulder towards right knee, looking towards the back. You're coming into a twist. Take a deep breath in and gently sigh it all out. Come back towards center. Extend that leg, lower it down, and then we're going to go for the twist on the opposite side. So draw that left knee in towards the chest, hug it in. Sit bones are flat down, that left foot is flat down, the right foot is flexed and straight. Now wrap right hand around that left leg, and then inhale, lengthen, brace the core. Now twist. Bring right shoulder towards left knee and look towards the back. And your left arm is giving you support on the mat. Starting to inhale, come back towards center. You're going to release. And then from there, just going for a bit of a forward fold. So point the toes, take the arms up and overhead. Reach for the sky, keep your core active. And then hinge from the hips. Try and keep your lower back straight and lower your torso down, lower the hands down, keeping the lower back straight. And once you've got that, now pull the chin in towards the chest to give you an upper back stretch. Try and relax into the stretch by deepening the breath. Take a very deep breath in, and then from there coming back up. And now from here we're going to slowly transition into Shavasana. So take the hands forward, find the cat spine, activate the core. Try and keep the heels making contact with the mat or the floor, and very slowly, one vertebra at a time, lowering yourself down, using only your core muscles to control the movement. The objective is to maintain contact with the heels on the mat. And then from there, once you've lowered all the way down, find your Shavasana, relax and release. And I'll wake you up if you fall asleep, don't worry. And we're here for a few minutes. And then from there, gently start to move your fingers and move your toes. Bring life back to your body. Take your arms over your head. Stretch and lengthen out like you're waking up from a slumber. Feel that length through the spine. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a bit of a squeeze. And then using your right arm as a pillow, roll onto your right side. And then when you're ready, start to come back into a seated position with your palms at your heart center and your eyes closed. And once you're in that comfortable seat with your palms at your heart center and your eyes closed, take this final moment to acknowledge the energy and the efforts that you have put into this practice. Honor the warrior within you that strives to change that which you can change. Honor the yogi within you that accepts that which you cannot change, and cultivate the wisdom and the awareness to know the difference. Bringing your palms to your forehead, to your lips, and back to your heart. Gently start to blink the eyes open. And I thank you for practicing. Okay, so session done. Thank you very much for those who joined. If you have any feedback as to how we can improve the class, please let me know. Drop me a line. And then the next class is on Tuesday. I think it's at about 5:30 South African time. And thanks so much for those who joined. Remember to drink lots of fluids or water after this. And I'm going to close the session off now. Like I said, guys, any comments, please feel free to comment on the comment where leave a comment. And thank you so much. Hope to see you again. Ciao.